Today we're going to be talking about our second skill in Unit 2. Now, our learning objective is what are the different multiplication properties. Here, we're going to discuss the 4 different multiplication properties that we need to know. Now, my first property is called zero property. Is where we take a number and we multiply it by 0. Now, any number multiplied by 0 always gives me 0. This is what the property is. We take 0 and we multiply it with any number and it always gives me 0. This is our first property. Our second property is called identity property. It's when we take a number and we multiply it by 1. Now, in the identity property, any number multiplied by 1 always gives me the same number. So 6 multiplied by 1 will give me 6. If I multiply 7 by 1 or 10 by 1 or any number by 1, it always gives me the same number. This is our second property. Now, our third property that we need to know is called commutative property. Here, it's when I take a number, for example, 3 multiplied by 4, and then I switch the numbers around where I have 4 multiplied by 3. Here in the commutative property, it's just when we take the numbers and we switch their order. Both multiplication sentences here will give me 12. 3 multiplied by 4 gives me 12, and 4 multiplied by 3 also gives me 12. This is the commutative property. Now, our fourth property is called the associative property. Here, it's when we take 3 numbers and we want to multiply them together. For example, I have 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. Now, I'm going to write this problem 2 times to show you how to solve it. Here, I have it twice. Now, because I have 3 numbers, I want to make it easier for myself and multiply the first 2 numbers together. So what I do is I take parentheses and I put them for the first 2 numbers. Now the first 2 numbers are 2 multiplied by 3. Here, I know this gives me 6. Now 6, we multiply it with the second number, which will give me 18. So here what we did is we broke them down and we put them into parentheses and then we multiplied it with the second number. Now, I wrote it twice because there's 2 ways to solve this. I can either put the parentheses for the first 2 numbers, or I can put them for the last 2 numbers. Here, I have 3 times 3, which gives me 9, and I multiply it with the first number. So 9 times 2 also gives me 18. So here, I see that wherever I put the parentheses, it will give me the same answer. This was my fourth property. Now, these are the properties that we're going to be talking about and that we need to know. And thank you for listening.